Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good School. It's really amazing to have you join me on this very special and very intentional moment and session. This session was started yesterday, but we had to shoot live stream, so we have to just get it done again and have you really get the best and really learn from this session. Please, I want you to share, drop a like, and let me know that you can hear me and that you are really getting this loud and clear so we could just move on to the session and have this very special moment. All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this special session of Growth School. This really crucial time and really essential moment of learning, building wisdom that matter, and getting insights on the things that can help you change your life, improve your life, be better in your career, and make crucial impact in the world that you live. Okay, if you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Abiodun Mustapha, a personal development expert and the facilitator and teacher and the convener of Growth School, a weekly webinar session where we share deep insight on purpose, productivity, impact, and we build real leaders in order to help them change and improve their life consistently. So today we are looking at a very important session, a very important topic on how you can be so good that no one can ignore you. So 8 reasons why you will not be ignored. And this is very essential, especially for people who wonder why, oh, many a times you put up things or you see things, and sometimes you're so sure that these things you're putting out are things that people need and people would really want to own and do things with their life. But most of the times, when you try to approach it or get it done or try to move certain things, people just feel like, oh, what's this guy saying? What's she saying? What's she trying to put up? And they just ignore you. Or many a times when you lift up your hands in meetings to speak, people look at you and are like, what does she want to say? What does she want to do? So I found that same people who seem to be in such light and they feel so disappointed. Many of them even have to battle with sometimes doubting their identity, doubting their personality, doubting themselves because they just feel they would get ignored. And this has led to the essence of even people having to deal with certain elements like fear, certain elements like intimidation, certain elements like feeling like, oh, they are being pressured, and they just believe that they are not working to the greatest capacity of their potentials, and they feel that their gifts are doubted, their works are doubted, their stuffs are doubted, and they just want to ensure that they are really and they are relevant, they are impactful, and they're influential in their lives. And I believe this is something that you want to do. You want to be the one that is preferred, and you want to be the one that is heard. You need to really sit back and begin to ask yourself that when do you want to really start becoming relevant in your lifetime? When do you want to start as one that will be considered really serious? When do people want to start taking you serious in your lifetime? When you want to do things that matter? Do you want to just stand up and be the one that all the time all you have to do is to applaud people and then celebrate people and watch every other person doing something? Or you want to be the one really making something happen in your lifetime? So this particular session will really help you as we begin to pick certain elements and get them done right now. So I want you to take notes. I want you to write. I want you to pick up the things that would really matter to you. There is these words that people say, and some people turn it into affirmations, into very declarations, and they say it over time. But the realities do not show. Why? Because there's always a responsibility behind every declaration. Now, because I remember there was these words that says, like, when affirmation without motivation and intentionality and action will only be a delusion, would only be is only delusion. You know, you are delusional when all you do is, oh, you farm, you claim, and you say a lot of things, and you just realize that these things do not become reality. And many a times you're shocked at why they do not become real and they do not become sure in your life. Now you hear people say things like, I am the light of the world. I shine to my world. I so shine, and then the world will see the goodness of God in my life, the glory of God in my life, and they will glorify God. But in true reality, what responsibility do you take behind your declaration? What responsibility do you take behind your declaration? You know, this place right now has like lights being lightened up. There's power supply, there's power flow. And something you need to recognize is that there is always power behind every light. Nothing light except it is powered up. Even as little as lantern. I remember in old times when I visited my grandma, she used to have like a lantern. That light lantern would always need something like a kerosene. That kerosene is fuel, is energy, is power behind the light that you see. The moment that fuel becomes exhausted in that lantern, there would no longer be light. So while you're saying, I am the light of the world, I'm going to light the world, I'm going to do this thing. So what is the power behind you? What powers that declaration? What makes that declaration come forth? Like for example, if the power holding takes up power, you need another alternate means of power in order to become light. So light has behind it the power, the responsibility, the force in order to ensure the energy that is needed to ensure that you continue to light. Declarations alone do not bring reality. You need some set of power that brings it to being. So what are different power that can bring light? You know, when a place is lightened up, it makes instant impact in darkness. So what are the kinds of power? Here we have the supreme being. God has to be the power behind you lighting your world. Okay, you cannot lighten your world yourself. There's a power that needs to be lightened. There is a power of knowledge that is needed, a category of knowledge that ensures that whenever you dig out of that source and you declare and you speak out, or you do the things you do, you commit to the things you do, you carry on to the things you do, you align to the things you do, people want to instantly listen. You gain the attention of people because of the force of knowledge. There's also the force of wisdom. There's a force of wisdom. There was this very, very, very influential king, well respected everywhere in the world. He was considered as the wisest man on earth. And his name is King Solomon. He was considered the wisest man on earth. And in the season and the time of his wisdom, people came from different countries. People left their nations and traveled to come seek his wisdom. Why? Because there was the depth of wisdom that he has, the power of wisdom. The power of wisdom. That power is what makes you a light. You don't become a light just by assumption. You don't just lighten a place just by wishing that it happens. There must be the power, the enforcement of wisdom that permits you to become known, relegated. There was a queen. She came from a royal palace and she traveled far with all of her camels and cattle and all of her convoys, and she visited a wise king. And when she was done engaging Solomon and doing all of that, she said, oh, it was never told me. I never even heard up to half of the things that you got. This is so amazing. He said, your people are blessed because of the things you have. And you know what she did? She brought gifts unto him. That's how you don't become ignored. You commit to wisdom. And that's what we do at Growth School. We enlighten you, we create an atmosphere and engagement with wisdom. Your mind is enlightened by wisdom and you become sought after. So you do not do things like the masses. You do not just follow the trends. You create the flow. You don't follow the trend, you create the flow. You attract the people to come, you position, and then you magnetize the right people to show up around your life. The power of wisdom. There's also the power of resources. That's why you find out that there is the power in the book of Proverbs that says that a giver has many friends. So there are people who come to you. Why? Because there is a part of your resources that when it touches, it transforms, it blesses the life of people. They seek you, they come to you. He said, a poor man's wisdom is ignored. So there is the power. There's something that powers light. Influence is also expensive. You need some sort of resources in order to channel influence. Right now in Nigeria, this is the year where there will be a lot of campaigns. There will be people showing up in order to pitch, in order to give all of their campaign promises, and then they do all of that. They strategize, they reach out to people in order to ensure that they can fulfill the promises that are made. Why do you think people would gather to listen? There's influence. There's something to be given. There's something people want that these people have to give. So there is that resource, the power of resources that makes you sought after and never become ignored. So when you say you're the light of the world, you need to recognize that what power actually energizes, what power actually offers, what gives you that assurance that you will be sought after. Now, the next thing I want to say about the concept of light is that light is not influential in light. Light is influential in darkness. Now, that does not leave out the fact that there are different degrees of light. Okay? There's a light of the lamp. There's the light of the candle. There's a light of the lantern. There's a light of the bulb. There's a light of halogen lamp. There's a light. Lights are in degree. But the truth is, the true impact of light is not felt in light. The true impact of light is felt in darkness. Okay? Now, the book of Genesis chapter 1 says, in the beginning was the world, in the beginning was the world, and it said that the world was without form, and there was gross darkness in the world, and God said, let there be light, which means the impact of that light is what brought sanity and what brought an idea of the order that life should be, which means darkness is a problem. Don't just see darkness as, when there's no light, when there's nothing. Darkness, when you say light shines in darkness and the darkness could not comprehend it, it means there is a problem. Darkness signifies problem. Darkness signifies confusion. Darkness signifies stagnation. When light comes means solution, means order, means strategy, means impact. And you need to recognize that you shining and what will not make you ignored is not the excuses you make, but the problems you solve. It's not the excuses you make. Most people believe that, because you have so many excuses to make, people should consider you seriously. No one applauds you for excuses. Have you ever been to maybe a boardroom, or you've been to a platform, or you've been to a place, and then you saw someone rose up and said, I would have gotten this, I would have done this, but I didn't have this, but this didn't happen. If only this, if only that happened, if only I was here, if only I was this, if only I was that, if only I was this. And then when the person was done giving up the excuses and complaining, and then you now saw everybody rose up and started clapping. It doesn't happen. Nobody claps for you because you make excuses. Nobody claps for you because you complain. People applaud you because of the results you can bring. It's the system of the world. People applaud you because of the impact that you can make. People applaud you because of how well your stories touch them. Yes, you could go through difficulty, you could go through different things that are not pleasing, but at the end of the day, you need to shine the light. You need to shine the light. So when light, the impact of light in darkness means that a solution has come to a problem. Means that a solution has come to a problem. Now ask yourself, what problem are you solving that should make people take you seriously? All right? What problems are you solving that should make people take you seriously? All right. Are you meeting and touching people that seriously? Are you touching people at the point where they are saying, no, this is someone I need to listen to? So if you find yourself that one of the things you're doing is you find yourself always envying people, always being jealous of people, always feeling like, why is this person the only one? It's usually because you are not sure of the problems you have to solve in your life. All right. So jealousy emanates from an ignorance of the problem you have to solve. Because most people are distracted by what's going on in other people's life, and they are not diligent in being focused on making deliberate impact on their own life. So light shines. So the reason you'll be ignored is because you create time being envious, being jealous, not making impact, not doing something deliberate, not being focused, not staying in the place you should be, not standing in the place you should be, not being engaged in the things you should be in, not being productive, not being advantageous in your life, and then your light can shine. Because the more you gossip, the more envy you have, the more jealousy you have, the more distracted you are away from building your own life, the less and the dimmer your light becomes. You never see people full of envy and jealousy ever make speedy progress. At the end of the day, they become ignored. Why? Because people need positive energies around them. Are you creating that positive energies? Are you building that positive energies? Are you the kind that has that positive energies in your life? Or you are just distracted? Light shines in darkness. Are you shining? Are you shining? Are you shining? Are you shining? Are you building lives? Are you changing lives? Are you transforming lives? Are you being deliberate with your own life? Or you are just distracted with the things that you do? Right? So light shines in darkness. So the world is not looking for excuse makers. The world is looking for problem solvers. That's how you won't be ignored. The kinds of problem you solve, the kinds of people you serve, and how you serve them is what will determine whether you will be the one that is sought after. Everyone is looking for those who can solve their problem, not those who are complaining, not those who are easy, not those who are just some sort of cottage Indian, and then they are just there, and then they cannot stay true to their own lives. Too distracted, and then not really focused on where they are to be. So the world is looking for those who can make impact. Now, the third thing to consider is that for you not to be ignored, one of the things you need to really do is not just follow trends, not just move with the flow. It's also you creating the flow. It's also you creating the flow. And this is one thing for people who are born in the third world you need to really consider is that you never become a leader. You never get considered, or you are not taken seriously if all you do is to follow trends. Because many a times you need to not just follow the trends, you need to look at where it is ending. It's not just about what is trending, like my friend Abraham Oceanis will say, it's not about what is trending, but where it is ending. Most people are not so clear of the purpose of their life. Most people are not so sure of what they want. Most people set goals without really paying attention to progress, which is why they are distracted with what is trending and never look at where it is ending. So it's not about what's trending. If you have to stand out, you should think of creating the trend. You should think of coming out and doing things deliberately to make critical impact. Remember 2018 from 2018 to 2020 before COVID. Thank God that even happened around that time because it was really, really amazing period. What was the trending thing? Okay, when people want to push out personal development events and do stuff, what they do is, they look for very large halls. They want to have thousands of people, hundreds of people gather together to do a lot of things. And then I realized there was this very important essence and aspect of purpose that need to be moved. And then we started Purpose Hangouts. We started Abeokuta to Lagos, to Ibadan, to Ekiti State, to Ondo State, back to Ibadan. Then we had campuses, Funab, Polytechnic of Ibadan. We had EXU, just moving, Uniport, and all of that. And then that was happening. And after that, certain people started picking insights from that, picking insights from that, picking insights from that. That's because it's not just following the trend. It's about what you are called to do. What are you called to do? Why should people take you seriously? Are you that diligent about the course of your life? Are you that very, very, very essential about the course of your life? This is very, very important. Very, very important. Number 4, you want to be so good that no one can ignore you. You must say no to average or mediocre outcomes. You need to be so committed to excellence in a way that until it is excellence, you're not pleased. You are so deliberate about excellence in the way you do your things. Like, for example, you want to push out a program, you want to push out an event. You don't just say, oh, let me just get anybody to do it. You know our world is moved by the things people can see. You need to be so excellent at how you do it. You want to come out to make a presentation. You don't just come and then just say, oh, let me just say it anyhow and just talk, and then you move, and then people are not moved by it. Maybe you are even a student in your academics. You're not just saying, oh, let me just get in this call. Let me just at least pass. No, for someone who does not want to be ignored, excellence becomes your minimum standard. Not just passing, not just average. Excellence becomes your minimum standard. Distinction becomes your minimum ranking. You get that? Distinction becomes your minimum ranking. That's how not to be ignored. You're given a work to do, you ensure you check it again and again, it comes out excellently. You don't just gather things here and do this here and then just present it. You're saying, no, my minimum standard is excellence. My minimum standard is diligence. And then you put in effort into it to ensure that it comes out excellently. That's how it's done. That's how people become loyal to leaders. Don't just try to always tell people, oh, respect me, believe me, follow me, and then you say, please now get these things done. Commit to excellence. Excellence is a voice. Excellence is a spirit. The better you do it, the more people want to trust you to do it for them again. How excellent do you get it done? How well do you get it done? If you're told to prepare a report, how do you do it? Do you just get things here and there and then you want to do it and you expect that people will recommend you? Recommendation do not come by sentiment. All right, it comes by trust, and then you build trust through excellence. So number 4, say no to mediocre or average outcomes. Okay, say no to mediocre or average outcomes. Number 5, before I list the 8 things I want to share with you, the 8 reasons why you not be ignored, is this. Number 5, avoid the flattery of a local champion status. Avoid the flattery of a local champion status. Yes, it's okay that you started in that small group. It's okay that you're there in that little community and people are like seeing you as a star. Wow, this guy is so good. Oh, when this guy teaches, or when this guy does this, or when this guy does that, and then people are hailing you, and then you now become so satisfied and believe you are the one that is there. You need to take your transitioning. You need to take your impact and relevance and influence to an higher degree, and say you don't want to settle for locality. You want to move into globality, in quotes. Don't settle for locality, move into globality. So when you have been able to conquer the locals, you move again. Even the concept of the gospel, remember what Jesus told them. He said that, and when the Holy Spirit shall come upon you, and you shall become witnesses unto me in Jerusalem, unto the next in Judea, unto the next in Samaria, unto the next and unto the latter parts of the world. That's growth. If the God who created you does not settle for locality, it means it desires growth and constant improvement. Constant and never-ending improvement. That's what you have to do in your life. When people are applauding in locality, say, what's the next thing? What's the next place to look? What's that positive competition that I need right now? What's that positive pressure I need to put on myself right now? Why? Because when people applaud you as a local champion, after a period of time, you will believe that you have gotten there. Instead of being deliberate about improving and getting better, you will just settle for an average outcome. You settle for an average result. And the world is not looking for local people. They are looking for those with global orientation. And that's why you see even many organizations are adding global to their names. Why? Because they need to put themselves that they don't want to settle for being local champions. And get this right. No one applauds you twice. So when they have applauded you today for this, oh yeah, stars, yeah, bro, move on, carry on, bro. That's amazing, that's good. And then they do all of those things. The next thing is, what's going to be the next thing? Don't be a local champion where you are. Be deliberate about global transitioning. So you don't want to be ignored. One thing I've realized about people, and one of the things you have to really know and take note is that most people are not that loyal to you. Most people are not that loyal to you. You know, I've known this from experience, from dealing with people and certain individuals. Most people are not that loyal to you. They are loyal to the things you can offer. They are loyal to the things you can do. They are loyal to the results you can bring. They are loyal to the impact you can make on their life. They are loyal to the degree of your influence that you have. Most people, the moment they can no longer get the things you are offering, they are going to move on to the next person. Most humans are not that loyal. Most humans are not that loyal. Most people, the moment you stop giving them the things you give to them, you stop offering the things you're doing, you stop becoming excellent to the degree you are, you stop doing the things you're doing, they are going to move on to the next person. And this is the reason why you must never settle for the applause. You must constantly keep improving and adding value to yourself. That's how you won't be ignored. Even your organization, even the institution, the organization, the company where you work, the only reason why you are there is because there's something you're offering. The moment you can no longer offer it, they are on the lookout for the next person that can help them achieve that goal and achieve that result. So this is why most people have to be very deliberate about the way they position, the way they push, the way they become very committed to the things they do. You need to commit to the very important things. That's why I advise people. Never leave the things that you were doing that brought you to where you are. Instead, improve on it and keep adding to it so that you will not become obsolete. Most people have become stars in the past. They are no longer important in the present. That's why people will ignore you. That's why people will leave you. That's why people will feel that you're a burden. That's why people will feel, what's it about this guy? Are you a star in the past or you a star in the present? Are you important in the past? Were you important in the past or you are still important today? Were you relevant yesterday or you are still relevant today? It's about never ending, constant and never ending improvement. Constant and never ending improvement. You see why many times when you are constantly improving, you don't have time for gossip, you don't have time for jealousy, you don't have time for envy, you don't have time for unnecessary talk, you don't have time for average and mediocre things, you don't have time for things that are not building you that much. Why? Because your focus in is what is the next area of improvement. What's the next area of improvement? The only way your year will make sense, the only way your life will make sense is that there's something that drives you consistently to improve your life. All right, so let me just state the reasons and then I'll move on to other things. The reasons why you won't be ignored, and I'm going to be using the acronym stand out. Okay, S is that you're shining. All right, the reason why you won't be ignored is that you are shining. Okay, you are shining, you are bringing light to darkness, you are bringing insight to places of confusion, you are bringing strategy to the places of stagnation. Why? Because you are shining. That's how to shine. You are shining. If people would not ignore you, you are shining. Do you see people become gloomy? And when they meet with you and converse with you, it just looks as though and everybody is lifting out of them. That's you shining in that light. That's you doing something deliberately. When you speak and you communicate and then you try to push things and deliberately do things and do all of that, are you shining? Do people see you as a very essential entity? S is that you're shining. T is that you are transforming. And this is the thing about transformation. Transformation does not happen from the outside in, it happens from the inside out. It happens from what? The inside out. You see, what most people want to do is, oh, they want to do this, they want to speak to this, they want to be on that platform, they want to do this, but they are not diligent about constantly making effort to improve themselves. So if you find out that, oh, if you speak on a particular topic, the same thing you said yesterday is the same thing you're saying today, is the same way you're saying it, there is no transitioning, there is no growth, there is no improvement, then you're stagnated, you are not standing out. If people can predict how you are going to say it, then what you are going to say next, how you are going to bring it, the story you are going to relate, it means that you are not transforming. Transformation means there is a metamorphosis, there is a transitioning, there is a new improvement, there is a new aura to you, there is a new place to you, there is a new form to you that people cannot just completely unravel you. They try to unravel, they keep finding new and new and new. Standing out, not being ignored. The second reason is that you're transforming. You're transforming daily. You did that job this week, yesterday, had another touch of excellence and say, wow, you're growing. I've met people, I've had to speak with, I think, a student at the time, and I was like, I said, one thing I appreciate about you is that you're grown. Is that you're grown. You're grown. I was having this chat with someone. I remember when this person came in 100 level, I knew how we used to push. Sometimes we'll try to push and say, oh, bring your goals, bring your academic goals, let's review it, let's get it done. Or how you're going to get this done, right? How you're going to make it happen. And instantly, this person already doing the break is already thinking and saying, oh, I'm already trying to come up with my goals. I'm drafting my goals without being pushed. That's transforming. If people have to push you all the time to get the things done, and you never position yourself on autopilot to get result out of life, then you are stagnated. You are not transforming. You're not transforming. If all the time you have to be pushed, you have to be told, oh, set your goals, oh, be committed to your vision, make sure you're reading, make sure you have a book you're reading, make sure you're transitioning, make sure you're working on your skill, make sure you're working on your game. Every time you have to be pushed, then you're stagnant. If you want to stand out and you want to be the preferred one, you need to be transforming. You need to be transforming. You need to be transforming. Number 3 is that you have to be audacious. You need some kind of audacity, some kind of daring attitude, some kind of courageous steps in order to take some kind of actions. I think this place I'll just recommend. Let me check if I can find the book. I'm going to recommend a book. If you are this kind of person that you find out that you are always very fearful, sometimes you want to accomplish some kind of daring results in your life, you want to accomplish some kind of very, very, very great outcomes in your life, but you just find out, you just realize that, oh, you're always very fearful. Sometimes you're always very scared. Sometimes you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Sometimes you find yourself being intimidated. You find yourself being like, oh, why is this and all of that? You would not be able to stand out. People would not be able to consider you seriously. People will just look at you and feel like, oh, what's it about this guy? What's this guy trying to do? What's all of that? What's all of this? You have to be audacious. You have to be audacious. You have to be audacious. All right, let me share this very quickly. I'll recommend that you get a copy of this book. It's available on seller. Just get the soft copy. I think it's very, very cheap. It's, I think, 2,100 naira. It's titled Courage: How Ordinary People Achieve Extraordinary Results. Okay, if you are this kind of person that you find out that you are always very fearful, you want to achieve a result, you want to get this done, but you are always fearful, you just feel like, how can I get this done? Oh, how will people picture me? How people do this? You are battling with like self-intimidation and all of that. Please just get a copy of this book. It's titled Courage: How Ordinary People Achieve Extraordinary Results. Let me see if I can just get the link for you to or just go online, type seller Abiodun Mustapha, and then you should be able to get a copy. I think it's very, 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 very affordable, very, very affordable. So that's it. The book is Courage. Just type seller Abiodun Mustapha, then just type on the seller link, and then you will get it done. All right, so let's move on. So one thing is you have to be audacious. David would have remained a shepherd boy, an harp player, a musician, and all of that, but it would not have become a global and national phenomenon if not for audacity. If not for audacity. If not for audacity. He just came in that day and then he saw Goliath and like, oh, I'm going to confront this guy. What's this guy trying to do? Audacity was what brought him out. He could have the anointing and gifting, but he needed audacity. He needed some kind of audacity to he needed some kind of audacity to be able to become recognized. Remember, it was after the battle, every people started shouting, David have killed his 10,000, Saul has killed his 1,000, and then his name started traveling far. It was a kind of audacity. At that point, he could no longer be ignored, to the point that the king began to envy him. Can you imagine? A whole king who had the authority to even say, Get me David and put him in jail, became envious of David. Audacity, a kind of audacity. Are you that audacious? So I just recommend read the book Courage. It's really going to help you. Hen is noble. Noble. You need nobility. You need nobility. The next reason why you'll not be ignored is nobility. You are noble. You can appear in a place and people would respect you because of your approach, because of your courage, because of the environment that you place, because of the kind of way that you live and all of that. Okay? Audacity. You need a kind of audacity. You need to be so audacious. You need to be so audacious. You need to be so audacious. Are you that audacious? Are you that kind of person that can dare things and really, really want to get things to happen? Okay? Are you that kind of person? All right. You can screenshot this. That's the link to the book Courage. All right. The first thing there is 00MQ384. So are you that audacious? So you need to be noble. You need a kind of lifestyle. You need a kind of way that you approach yourself. So that's where you start paying attention to things like your dressing. You start paying attention to things like your look, your outlook. You start paying attention to things like your breath, the way you smell, the way you appear, your orals. You start paying attention to your looks. You start paying attention to how you appear. That's nobility. Okay. I used to mention the story of Joseph, that even when Pharaoh needed Joseph to come interpret the dream urgently, I said, Bring him for me instantly. They didn't just bring him with the prison clothes and with all of his bushy hair. They need to clean him up, they shaved him, make sure that his haircut looked nice, gave him a different kind of apparel. There's a way to appear before kings. There's a way to appear before kings. Now, another way you not be ignored is distinction. And part of what you have to distinction is that you are dependability. People will not ignore you when they can depend on you. When they can depend on you. Are you that dependable? Are you the kind of person that people can rely on? Can people rely on you? Are you the one that disappoints people all the time? You come on a schedule, you give excuses and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm this, and then you keep doing it. After a while, people just say, oh, that guy is not so serious. Every time we invite him, he's always late, or he always gives excuses, or he's not well prepared, or many a times he keeps extending the time on a project. People would not take you seriously. Bro, you need to become dependable. You need to become distinct. There's something in business model canvas called value proposition. You need to have that kind of value proposition. That people say, oh, we've met a lot of people and we have given a lot of people this same kind of privilege. But the time we gave this guy was really unique. This guy was different. This guy offered it with a measure. We've not seen a guy like this. That's how you won't be ignored. You're able to meet up to deadlines. You're not the one that, oh, when something has to be done in the next 2 days, it is 2 hours to the deadline. That's when you are just starting the project. That's not a good attitude. That's not a good way. Can people rely on you and say, if we give that guy a job to do, he's going to meet up and he's going to do it before deadline? That's a brand. That's a value that could be added. Sometimes don't even take it up if you know you will not get it done. Don't make people rest and rely on you and say you're going to get that thing done, and then at the end of the day you keep disappointing them. Part of the way people will ignore you will not ignore you is because you are dependable. It's because you are dependable. So are you that dependable? Can people rely on you? Can people trust you? Can people speak about you? Can people speak for you and just be at rest that this guy we are speaking for, it really is going to deliver? Or many a times they are so in doubt, and sometimes they are fearful, when they have to put you up on the charts, you have to be dependable. All right. O, stand out. O is that you are outstanding. That comes with the concept of excellence. That comes with the concept of deliberateness. You have excellence, you are excellent in what you do, you are very, very, very committed to what you do. You really, really, really put in so much effort to what you do. You try to align to things. You are excellent. That's outstanding, 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 outstanding. If they have to measure where you are, they always find you in the 1%. Whether you are in that unit, they find you in the 1%. They find you in that company, you are in the 1%. Academically, you're in the 1%. In delivery, you're in the 1%. Are you that kind of guy? Are you that kind of lady? Are you that kind of person? All right. So it's very, very essential that you pay attention to these things. All right. So you is that you are unique. I talked about uniqueness. You are not in the flow. You cannot just say, oh, he's just like everybody. She's just like everybody. You're unique. And then C, you're top notch. Top notch. Top notch. You always give that top value that people are always looking out for you and say, this guy is a leader. This guy will give us that result. So you're standing out. 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 Now, these are 3 questions I want you to ask as I will be closing this webinar. 3 questions that you need to ask right now. So regardless of what point you are at right now, regardless of what you're doing right now, how can you not be ignored? Okay, so if they need to make a selection amongst group of people, how can they always consider you to be the one that will be there? Now, 3 questions. Number 1, you need to ask yourself right now, what 5 things do you need to start doing today to change your life? What are 5 things? Like 5 things you need to start doing today to change your life. And the moment you're able to identify those 5 things, commit to them effortlessly. Commit to them intentionally. Commit to them with earnestness in your life. Commit to them like anything. What are 5 things you need to start doing? Do you need to start working on your intellectual ability? Do you need to start working on maybe your speaking ability? Do you need to start working on your appearance? Do you need to start working on your networking skills? Do you need to start working? What are the things you need to start working on today? What 5 things do you need to start working on today that can change your life? That can change your life? Do you need maybe to be more strategic? Do you need to commit to more planning yourself well? Instead of always being easy all the time, you're rushing and saying, hey, how can I meet to deadline? And then certain things, unexpected situations happen, and before you know it, you can't meet up anymore. And people can't trust you. People keep saying, oh, she always fails, or he always fails. He does not do this, he does not do that. Maybe you need to start working on it. Yes, you may be many things in different places, but you can re-strategize. You can rework on yourself. You can create time and then start looking at those 5 things and be intentional about it. Maybe you need to start reading books. Maybe you need to work on your lingua. Maybe you need to work on reading, study. You need to start looking at the things you do. Maybe sometimes it's the fact that you talk too much and you need to become very cautious. Maybe sometimes you realize that you're surrounded with negative people around you and you want to start changing your association. And then you want to start committing to the kinds of events that can improve you, that can add value to you, that can help you be better and all of that. You want to do all of those things. Very, very important. Okay, so what 5 things do you need to start doing today to change your life? What are the 5 things you need to start doing? Maybe right now you're at the point whereby there are certain requirements in order for you to be promoted or in order for you to move to the next level of your career. And then when you begin to look at those things, you are realizing that, oh, you're behind and you're not doing so much. Maybe you need to start sitting today and highlighting certain topics and say, oh, I'm going to make sure I work on this, have this certificate, have this, take this course, and then build it so that when the time for promotion or time for advancement or time for recommendation is there, I am ready and prepared. All right, you're ready and prepared. Maybe right now you're thinking you want to be in business and you don't even have maybe a company account. You don't even have a company registered or a business registered. And then big people want to do business with you, but there is no structure, there is no system with which they can bring in those things and offer it to you. These are things that are very, very essential that you can start working on again and again. Maybe you need to commit to mentorship. Maybe you need to commit to top leaders. Maybe you need to be so deliberate about what you do. All right. So this is very, very important. What are 5 things you need to start doing today to change your life? Now, number 2, how not to be ignored. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Number two, who do you need to be influenced by to make progress? Who do you need to be influenced by for you to make progress? Who do you need to be influenced by for you to make progress? Which means there are certain people that you need right now in your life in order for you to be progressive. Okay. Thanks for those who are joining. Thank you so much. Thanks for the trust. I'm really grateful. Thank you. What do you need to be influenced by? Which means you need certain kinds of people also. There are people who can speak for you and offer you maybe a letter or speak for you. And when you get to meet the people they recommend you to, you can't be ignored. They're like, oh, where are you coming from? Oh, that person. Ah, don't worry, come, we're going to give it to you. And then they treat you specially and bring you all of it. Who do you need to be influenced by? You need the influence of certain people around your life. That's why there is nobody that was made by himself. There's nobody who grew into limelight by himself. There's always that point. My mentor was sharing with us some days ago, and he was saying, never come out and say you made yourself, or you did not get idea from somebody, or nobody influenced you, or nobody supported you. It's a lie. At least you got idea from some people. You got strategies from some people. Some people helped you in the journey. Some people supported you in the journey. Some people spoke up for you. There were people who trusted you and they chose to just bank on you. They just said, okay, let's allow him. And that was how you people moved up and did certain things in their life. There is no one that is not made by at least one person, that is not helped by at least one person, that is not raised by at least one person. So look at your life. Who are the people that should influence your life in order for you not to be ignored? So, the number one thing is what you have to do. Number two is what others need to do on you. And then number three is where should you go to get the right information for your next level? Where should you go to get the right information for your next level? There are places you need to go to. There are some conferences that needs to become like your your annual camp. There's some meetings that you need to go to annually. Every year you have to be there. Why? Because the right informations, the people who show up there, the informations you get and imbibe, and then as you have them, you take certain moves that position you for greater relevance, for greater impact, for greater growth, for greater advancement. This is very, very essential. So, guys, this is very, very key. These three questions will help and will change your life. So, what are the three questions again? What five things do you need to start doing today to change your life? Number two, what do you need to be influenced by to make progress? And number three, where should you go to? Where should you go to get the right information for your next level? These are very important questions. Write them down, be deliberate about them, meditate on these things, and they will profit you. Meditate on these things, meditate on them, and then get answers, get answers, get answers, and keep building them. It's really important to understand that life has never been fair and will never be fair, but it will only bring advantages. It will only bring advantages to the people who position correctly. If you ever wait for a time where life is going to be fair, where everybody is going to return to the same level, I'm telling you, just few hours from then, everybody will return to where they are. We are all an outcome of the things we do, the people we meet, the places we go, and the events that take place in our life. What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing with your life? What deliberate steps are you taking today that should make the world offer you the advantages that it has? I hope this really changed your life. I hope this really helped you. I hope this was very, very impactful. This was very, very helpful to you. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. It's a very, very great time, a very, very good time. Keep changing your life, keep improving your life, keep taking the deliberate step that can move you to the next level. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Till we'll see you again and meet again. and speak again not too long from now. Keep making the rest of your life the best of your life. Bye bye.